Yes, and it nicely brings us to the next build.
Oh,
This is something that shows one day of the Lion Guard, and Lilarna has something that shows something on the bigger scale.
And I
okay.
and that is the Hall of the Lunar Champion. That's correct, yes?
Yes, yes, it is the Hall of the Lunar Champion. That was my OMH entry this year. I was thrilled and happy to be judge's pick, which was really, really cool. And I was able to catch a lot of the streams that people were visiting your house. Real, I saw yours, which was really cool. I think you did visit this hall before, didn't you?
Yeah, I think of course. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you did. And you gave it an awesome tour. So, um, I don't know how do you want to do. We talked before about several ways we could visit the house. So you can visit normal, like experiencing the story, or maybe we can run through it, like explaining more how I did it.
I think we should do that because I
Yeah.
would love for people to understand just how much goes into this and just your thought process to it and what is your inspiration for it. All those things I think sometimes get lost in a stream, and I really hope that this is your opportunity now to use this. So feel free to
Oh,
use this.
nice. Okay. So then we'll do like this will not be the way that you normally experience the house, the build. I will like just explain it as we go. It's called the Course of Empire, and there is a small like atmospheric quote about how time passes by and we're all specks of dust in the passing of time. And you're supposed to go into the portal the portals as you meet them when you experience the build. So you arrive in a sort of a psychic facility that you can see with the banner, with the globes, with the little research clues, with the many hourglasses that point at people studying the passing of time and how time affects lives and objects and the course of different elements. So this place is the corridor of time, so to speak, that you spawn in. First the facility, and then when you go around the corner, you get in the corridor and you will encounter several portals. So we can run through them one by one, actually. Like, yeah, I was very happy with the way the blue reflected in these two parts of the build. So this is the first portal, and what this build is telling is so the Course of Empire is a series of paintings, and it's a series of paintings by Thomas Cole, which is an artist who was painting in the 19th century. And sorry. So yeah, these series of 5 paintings reflects first the savage state, where the world is new and fresh and not a lot of influence by humans. And then there's Arcadia, where it's sort of a Greek mythology sort of setting. People are peaceful and live in harmony with the world. And then you have the rise of the empire with a very lush place, very grand, and civilization is at its fullest. And then there is war, and at war, of course, is devastation, destruction. The empire crumbles down. And the last painting of the series is called, wait, I don't have it. Arcadia or something, and it's the ruins, the desolation, and it's the ruins of these past cities that were grand, and now ivy is just growing everywhere.
Nature is reclaiming
Yes,
little bit of
exactly. Yeah.
pieces.
So that was the inspiration behind this whole build. And in the five paintings, every time you have a land marker that is the same, there's like a hill of sorts that is always the same and placed at the same place in the building. So that's why I went with the Ailid well to represent this marker of time throughout the different stages of the build.
Mm. Makes a lot of sense. And here, of course, you can argue, oh, this, or you can see this may seem bereft of much habitation. There's only a few hints, and might I say, a lot of landscaping work that you did here,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
there's a house right behind those. If
Mm-hmm.
nobody knows, or if people don't know, there is actually a house right behind these wonderful monolithic structures. So you've done extensive work here. It's very.
Yeah, yeah. There was a few iterations here. It's not my favorite part of the build.
Is
We
it
have to remember,
okay?
or I will cringe. I like to do it a bit differently, but it was hard, and I spent really a lot of time on this build. So yeah. So this is the part where it's like the savage state, and everything is raw, and there's an explorer because there's a backpack at the gate, the well. So it's been discovered, and then the assumption is that in the next portal that we can go in, Moongrave Fane, you will find the city that has been um, built around this elite well, basically.
That's established, and humanity, or yeah, human life has started and flourished.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you arrive, and there's a big courtyard, so you can jump in there if you're very tenacious. But yeah, so I had this theater play trying to make it look lively.
Hmm.
And you have the throne up there. So this is like you're in the backstage of the city here. You're in the emperor's, the empress's secret chambers, and you can come and take a look at what the crowd is looking at.
Ah,
So yeah. But I made the whole building. You can more or less like it stands alone. If you go in the courtyard, you can. There's not too many glitches to look at. But yeah, I like this part of the build. And
it-
so when you go upstairs, on the right there, up the stairs, yeah, there's the Empress's chamber where she
yeah.
has her fun. Um,
You know,
and
when I entered this first, I will say this is perfect lighting and a great focal point here. This is just it's just perfect. This stairway. Like,
yeah, no, thank you. I had a lot of trouble working on it because
oh,
I recreated it in another part of the build. I copied it because you go through it twice.
yes,
So I used the HT in several parts of this build to copy and paste the rooms to make them perfectly identical. And this is the Path of Eternity, the painting's name, which is quite perfect.
absolutely fitting to the story that we're following along in this. And just, walking backwards is a little bit odd sometimes. Just also the way that it's framed, like you're at the foot of the stairs and it's framed so nicely and lit gently. Just really appreciate these little details. I mean, to some people, those might be little. I just appreciate them a lot. Oh, so luxurious.
Yeah. There was some debates about the ivory polished that's all over the place. But yeah, this place was supposed to be a bit like this feeling of the pole, stripper pole, having fun, having a party, having an orgy, the food that's lush and everything. And structurally here, if you look at it, the different pillars around the room are absolutely identical to the original pillars that you have in the central room of the whole of the Lunar Champion.
Yeah.
So what I did was I built first in the other place, in the central room of the hall. I
Ah,
crafted some pillars that look identical, and I put them there in place of the actual built-in ones of the house. And I built around it so that when I would copy and paste it, it would fit perfectly.
oh, wow.
So yeah, I had to do the third room first and then come back here and do the second one, and so on and so forth. So Hayden has been a witness of my struggles in this build.
It's just so beautiful. So well done, and just the attention to all the details, and that everything aligns wonderfully, and just also the play with the colors. I really appreciate that there is a coherent story that you're telling, and just a general theme that you can follow along. Just really appreciate this. Stands out, just really stands out to me.
Thank you very much. Yeah, red for royalty, and gold, of course, that made sense.
Yes, yes,
So I went with the Elsewhere Empire, of course. So it's kind of a mix-up story where there's an empress that is on the throne of this Elsewhere Empire that has grown thanks to the power of the 80 well. So if you go in the next room, you will see that there's a sort of contraption around the well. There's a
yes,
dwarven sort of gem above it. There's some kind of pillars. So you can imagine that they draw power from this 80 well, and it's being slowly like corrupted because it's as if they were overusing its power too much. So I added the Aeon Stone Formation, that's a collectible.
yeah,
And actually there's a hemoglobe, that red light, the red
yes.
bubble of blood, but it's
Oh,
deactivated, and normally it projects a sort of a ritual symbol on the floor.
yes.
But it doesn't do it on normal items, but it does do it on
Ah,
books, like in-game books, and on this Aeon Stone Formation. So it has this sort of um, really like orange clouds. That's really a cool effect. I've noticed that it's been used in some other builds as well. It's really beautiful, this orange light. Anyway, and so yeah, this is this laboratory of sorts where the power of the Aelid Well is maybe put into soul gems. Some weird stuff is going on.
yeah. Research, it seems, has been going on. Studies were undertaken here. Lots of studies. We have a slight hint here.
Yeah, a little Dagon statue. Maybe this person is worshipping the wrong Daedric god.
Maybe. Just maybe. We
Mhm.
don't know.
And so this room is also identical. So it was the same process, from rebuilding from the central hall of
Yeah.
the Lunar Champion. So now, if you want, you can hit F5 to go back to the entrance. Actually, if you want to run back. Um, yeah. Oh, and when you do that, the light is not the same. I've noticed this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's supposed to be bluish light here. For me, it doesn't show like that. Um,
Very. Yeah, it's I still really love to look at all the beautiful things. I'm like, look, so pretty. So much
I'm distracting you myself.
just the detail and the amount of I'm well aware that this must have taken forever and is seriously fiddly, and you have to work really hard to make it look the way you want it to look.
Yeah. This is my most complex build I've made. If you will see when you go up later to the little archway you're gonna go through on the right, just there. I put Roman numbers on top of the portals, but you usually
3.
don't notice them until the end. Yeah. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 will appear. And then this is the replicated room. And usually people recognize it like
Instantly, yes.
yeah.
And I mean, it's also really hard to not. I mean, you can still think, yeah, well, maybe they are just liking the same style, but then you're telling us a story here.
Well, everything is exactly in the same place except
Yes.
for the fruit, and the wine has disappeared. But yeah, and you have this corpse with the golden crown. So yeah, again,
Yeah.
telling us the fall of the empire.
Look, people. Look, everyone. This is also. I was at when I was looking at this the first time. I was like, how, how,
Fair
and
amount of luck.
a fair amount of luck. It's just to getting. I mean, it's just as hard, or even harder, to get things to look disheveled or toppled over as it is to get them like look squeaky clean and all sleek and nice. I think it's the same, or even sometimes even more difficult, because how do you make a throw in this?
Yeah, there's actually the corpse has a weird angle, so I had to put two to make it better under good advice. But yeah, and on the other side there's a trophy and like a bust that's fallen on the room towards the Ailey Well on the
Ah,
passage. Yeah. So this is a funny story. It's because the trophy from Veteran Mauve Lorcage is exactly the same skin as the bust from some other dungeon. So I was able to have the full one that was nice and neat, and then to make it fall on apart here. But thankfully, I already had Veteran Mauve Lorcage under my boot, so it wasn't too hard. I didn't have to farm it.
yay! But that's also really smart and a nice idea to create a little bit more of a disheveled and chaotic look, and depicting that something did happen here
Yes,
really
and it's
adds to
very
it.
very open to interpretation as well. Like, could be anything. It could be Daedric invasion. It could be because you see Lyrinth talking in the Moongrave Fane section. She's talking with some people, so it could be Daedric. It could be Dagon. It could be Daedric as well. It could be just raw magic exploding. Anything.
Mm.
And yeah, then you go to there's the last portal, and that's where the whole story unravels, and you get this, yeah, things fall together at the end. So it was like strategically, it's not a like great build for OMH because it's a rather complicated one and it's a bit slow and you need time to get into it. I guess it's not like striking like you I don't know how to say, it's not a slap in the face kind of build. It's a progressive, slow storytelling thing.
Well, it's like a book. You have to turn the pages slowly. You have to be willing to be led. And sometimes authors will just tell you everything right away, and some authors just gently take you by the hand and then they let go and you can follow along the story yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have to be willing to take that adventure. Ah, yeah, nature taking back.
Yeah. So yeah, this is where everything comes together. The throne is still here. There's the skeleton of the empress and that beautiful sky. And yeah, it's actually kind of a bit sad in a way, but because it brings us back to our mortality. But it's also just quite peaceful. Yes, we're just dust. So yeah,
I would
we
say
think
it's
a
a
lot of
circle.
ourselves, but yeah, it is exactly.
No,
But
yes, please.
I think it's a good lesson. It shows don't corrupt
Hmm.
land like this. So the downfall of the empire was caused by the corruption and what they did, how they used the power. Well, this is what I get from the meaning of the build.
Any correlation with our real civilization is just a
Hmm.
coincidence.
Yes.
I mean, you could also say, just in concert with what Hayden just said, that trying to make nature bend so much
Mm.
so to our own will just will ultimately snap back in our face, basically. So, but I would see this also as a circle because life is, in my opinion, a circle. We borrow energy from somewhere and we give it back when we die or when somebody else dies. They just give it back. And there, you could still argue, well, they're still part of this place because inherently they are physically.
And I feel that this is a darker circle, not a circle of nature, but it's a circle of corruption, because how Lilarna placed the backpack again, it's like someone else came, and I'm
Mhm.
afraid that it is a human nature
Ah.
that this is going to repeat itself.
If they don't learn from what
Yes,
we've seen.
but
Yeah,
maybe there is a hope because remember it's a research facility, and this is
Mm.
the first thing that we see. Maybe some will learn from it.
that's the hope indeed. Yeah. So it says that the zone music adds to the drama, and often, like in most houses, the music is really great. Um, and in this one, it's very dramatic and intense at some moments with the sort of opera singing. So it's a great soundtrack.
Yes, very, very true. Very on point. My
Yeah.
goodness.
It was really amazing to share all this with you guys. Very interesting. I don't know if some people have some questions about stuff.
Yes, please, everybody, if you have questions, ask them now.
And just a short word, while else maybe some questions come in. Um, I'm reacting to what Masha said, that she was getting a bit tired of ESO, if I understood well,
Yeah.
at some point. Yeah. And actually, I'm in a. It's really nice to have this show and talk about this, like this chance to talk. But I'm in a kind of a ESO burnout at the moment, I would say, because I think I've like made it so many houses in a short time, like over February to May or something, and I'm in a creative block, like 100% unable to create something at the moment since about, I think it's been nearly 2 months. So yeah, it's but I think it's part of the life of an ESO houser as well, I guess. I don't know how the others relate to this.
I think it's difficult because housing is so much grind, so there is so not enough time left to build really. And I really hate the grind, and that is the main reason why I stop.
If there was anything that you could wish for to make the grind less grindy, is there any way that you could think the community could help to lessen the grind?
I think it's only part of the community. I think there is a lot of speculation with building materials because you can stack it up a lot, and you can sell it every time, so the prices are higher and higher and higher. And you could change it from the system itself when building materials would drop more often. So if we do our surveys, they could drop, but they don't change it, and I think it will get more expensive every month.
Right. Yeah, that is definitely a problem. I do hear that from a lot of people who tell me how much time they spend farming, and just grinding for material, and not only that, but sometimes grinding for specific recipes and stuff like that. Because if you have a specific vision you want to create, and you're just being stopped because recipes are just extremely expensive or material is skyrocketing and you just don't know how to muster up the energy to do a whole gold farming grind and then still have time to build and enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, it's very exhausting, and we all have a real life, and we have only 1 or 2 hours a day to spend for leisure, I think is the right word. And if I'm grinding the whole time, there is no time left for the fun part, and that is very sad.
Yeah, it takes the joy out of it.
Yes. And we have so many great creators, and they are all grinding, and they could do so many great builds if they had the time. It's sad.
So we should ask everybody to write up a petition. Zos, if you're hearing this, if you're hearing this ever, if this stream ever comes up in your feed, please, please help. Please, it's in your power. You can make this happen. It's not a big problem to add just materials to crafting notes. It's just surveys. It's not a big problem, right? It's just maybe a few technical thingies that they have to adapt, or just capping specific limits to what can be priced in this. But I think that the trading community will go wild over this. But
But I think it's not all of that. I think it's also a lot of competition inside the community, because we have so many great builders. It's sometimes really hard, and you always have to be better than you are really are, and that is sometimes difficult.
And we also need a furnishing bag, and not just a crafting bag.
Yes.
Because it's driving everybody nuts to have these storage houses all over the place and so on. Like, I'm all for having to buy houses to make this whole thing run. Okay, I will buy some more, but please give us a furnishing bag. Like, my God.
yes,
We are
please.
losing so many houses to furniture only for storage.
No more IKEAs and ESO, please. We want an IKEA bag, Sos. If you're hearing this,
like it's not even in terms of logistics for people who don't have the add-ons for where tracking where which furnishing is. It's hell. Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
yeah, and I mean it's just sometimes, I mean, it does help sometimes to have an IKEA to look at the things, right? You can look at all the different elements and try whether to turn this couch a little bit lopsided and maybe make a bigger couch or something else with it. But you still lose the house entirely to that. And I think that's just sad to lose so much space. And I've seen a number of creators have their IKEA at Cold Harbor Real Estate because it's an empty canvas. Yeah.
So many cold harbors wasted.
Yeah. And I mean, this is one of those plots that is an empty room that is just there for your imagination to go wild. But if you also need to store your furnishings somewhere, well, what do you do?
Yeah.
Maybe would it help to have a little bit more visibility in the sense that there's not so much a focus on competition, but more a focus on creating and maybe connecting with other creators so that there could be maybe at least a conversation?
I think it's a nice idea. I'm in a German guild and it's really not competitive.
Competitive?
Sorry, my English is so bad, I'm tired. And
You're good.
It's very, very relaxing and it's nice. And we go through in a bunch of people and we look at everything and it's just nice. And when I'm in the English part of the housing world, it's a lot about competitions. And if you enter a competition, of course, you want to play somewhere. And it's different.
Okay. So,
And
yeah.
because there are so many great builders, you won't never be place one. You don't need to be place one. But it's sometimes a little bit sad when you're place 39 and you really worked 3 months on it.
Yeah, of course. It's devastating, something like this.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes...
I would not know the score at that point. I would really rather not know.
Yeah, also...
Yes, but sometimes you want to know and there is no information about it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's difficult, this particular part, I would say. I mean, so I've done cribs for the roses, which is basically just show off your homes. There's no competition. It's just people showing their houses on my stream or telling me to show them. And it's not just rose guilds, but also friends. So this is an open invitation to anybody who wishes to participate in these. They are every quarter of the year. So there was just one. Next one is coming up. So yeah, I would love to help get more visibility for you guys and maybe create a platform so that the community has a chance to grow a little bit, and maybe the English-speaking community has something to learn from the German-speaking community, and vice versa. So maybe that could help.
I like the idea of the stream. You take a theme and you show a lot of varieties around this theme, and it's not about one builder, and it's more about the idea and what you can do with it. I really liked it.
Okay, noted. So you're telling me more streams like these? We'll do that.
Yeah, maybe a stream about, fantastic creatures or something like this. So you pick a team, you speak maybe with some builders about it, and we see what you can do with fantastic creatures or something else.
Yeah, or I mean, we had a bunch of H.P. Lovecraft because there also was a competition, but
Yeah, they were great builds.
but maybe something along those lines. I'm sure there is going to be more ideas, but this is also an open invitation to any one of you. If you have an idea for a stream or something that you think should be in a stream that should be more along the lines of a theme, just like Marcia said, then please message me. Let me know. I will happily try to find a way to create a stream like this and ask people to come on. Like these wonderful, brave creators who've been so patient at the start of the stream and have held out for a very long time.
And fought against the English language.
Oh, you didn't fight a lot. You spoke bravely and wonderfully.
Thank you very much. I still try to improve.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah. Thank you very much for doing the stream. I
Oh,
really
it's my
enjoyed
pleasure.
it.
It's my pleasure.
It was really lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if you do a designer special about creativity, I will be listening all through from my writer's block.
Oh, we would have to invite Yumichi.
Oh, yes. Mm-mm.
She is so great.
I have already messaged them. It's a while ago, but I've already messaged them.
And toads, of course.
Yeah, there are a bunch of people that I've already messaged and asked, hey, how do you feel? So yeah, maybe watch this space. I will try to bring more specials, and there will be more designer specials and designer spotlights in the future.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
And I
Looking
really like
forward.
that we brought the focus on the storytelling because it's less I feel that it's like less represented, but that it's more going to into the visuals than into the stories
Oh,
in the housing community. So it's really nice to talk about storytelling.
it was my pleasure. I've been listening with like childlike curiosity and have been wondering and marveling at the beauty and the thoughtfulness of all your builds. They were just brilliant and wonderful.
Very nice. Thank you.
A great theme. And it's very important to all of us, I think.
This is
Thanks.
evident. This is so evident. I don't understand how this cannot be evident when you see any of your builds. There's so much detail in them. There's so much attention to detail, and that alone should tell anybody watching that or seeing that there's so much love and so much work that flows right into this.
Yeah. ESO housing is great.
Yes.
Okay. I wish you all a good night. Thank you for everything. And I really had a lot of fun.
Good night and thanks.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everyone, and I hope you had a wonderful time. See you all soon. Also, remember to go visit those beautiful homes